Righto. Microsoft's boot came off Xbox's neck. The leaks say why. I used to be a Xbox gamer till I moved to PC, so I'm a little bit interested in this and what it's got to say.
Game Pass is too expensive since the price hikes of last year, and now Xbox's new CEO agrees. Here's the quote: Game Pass Ultimate has become too expensive for too many players, and so the price is going to be dropping, which is a novelty in and of itself for today. When is the last time that you recently saw a corporation lower its prices? But it's also a little suspicious because, let's be real, there's no way this is just about your complaints. Because even with a new CEO, even with leaks and rumors about Microsoft's pressure on Xbox to perform, this actually might be about bad timing more than it's about anything else. In October of last year...
Of course it was bad timing. It was never going to be a good time. It's never a good time to jack up your prices. People never like that.
What was once the best deal in gaming became far worse. Game Pass Ultimate went from $19.99 to $29.99, so an increase of 50%. PC Game Pass went from $11.99 USD to $16.49, an increase of almost 38%. Now, Xbox rationalized this as, quote, evolving Game Pass to offer more flexibility, choice, and value.
Which is just complete bunk. Like, that's not what gamers give a fuck about. No, you made them fucking pay more and for nothing. Of course that people are going to be upset about that. Like, it's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? Why?
So yeah, this was a good thing, and it was good because the deals now came with new subscription benefits, like Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Classics, and all tiers would now come with cloud streaming. But it did mean the day one games on Game Pass would now cost $360 a year, which, hey, is a little bit of a cute number for them to run with. But of course, that's only if you are lucky enough to be using the US dollar, because others in regions like Brazil saw prices double. The outcry was completely expected. Many people claimed to have cancelled in response, but of course, with Xbox under the thumb of Microsoft demanding profit margins of up to 30% according to many reports, it really didn't seem change is likely. Now, it has changed. That means there's a lot to analyze. The changes then, they say that in response to, quote, a lot of feedback we've gotten, Xbox has announced the prices will drop. Ultimate now costs $22.99, PC costs $13.99. That's $3 above the September price for Ultimate and $2 above that price for PC, which is really more in line with a normal yearly inflation adjustment than October's massive price hike. But there is a trade-off here. You see, to make this work, Call of Duty will no longer be added to Game Pass each year. It's still going to come to Ultimate and Game Pass PC, but it will be a year later, and it'll be during the holidays. Which will mean that when everyone else has moved on to the game that will follow up, Modern Warfare 4, you'll be able to pick it up and play it. Now, the prior entries will stay available, but the newest entries will now be pay-to-play only, at least for their launch day and a year after. And that decision just might be the really telling part of the shift they have done here. But first, it is today's sponsor, Displate, and they're how I'm turning my home office and our new studio into places that actually feel like home to us. And take a look at this. This is the hall of gorgeous premium metal posters.
Who doesn't love Displates? I mean, I got Displates. Free advertisement for them. I've got, 6 up there, and I've probably got another 6 in my wardrobe. I've been meaning to put them up. I need to do that. Because I heard rumours that in the summer, for some reason, they will drop off the magnets. Or the magnets will fall off the wall or something. And I've gone through a summer now, and they've survived. So I think they're good. So, yeah, get some Displates. I should get some Super Earth ones.
That I got. Now, I love propaganda art, so the Helldivers Remember the Creek one was kind of a must. Then there's Expedition 33, one of the all-time greats. I love this gorgeous piece of an eclipse. But to go in an entirely different direction, I also love the pulp. And my partner does even more so than me. She loves Godzilla, and here is full classic Godzilla Japanese movie poster. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it does live in my apartment. Now, of course, these will all be joining
Sorry,
the
I
rest of
thought I
our
heard
display collection, because once you start, it's honestly kind of hard to stop. And basically, the reason why is their pitch is damn strong. Number one, metal, not paper. It just looks cool. And there are three
Yeah.
different finishes: matte, gloss, and texture.
Yeah,
Texture is
texture
real
is
neat.
awesome.
It prints a real 3D texture that you can see and feel. And it really shines on the Godzilla poster that I got.
Get
Now, a
texture.
nice side effect of them being ferro.
It's like, I don't know, $10 more. Well, this is Australian currency we're talking about. $10 more, but it's so worth it. Not all of them have texture, but God, they're good.
Magnetic is they mount to your wall with magnets. That means no damage to your walls, so if you're a renter, they're absolutely
stick
clutch. Or say, like me, you're kitting out a studio and you
Slap
don't want
on
to
a
scar
magnet.
the walls and you want to be able to swap things around nice
boom.
and easy. Well, it being a magnet system is just
Look at that, that's
perfect for
fucking
that.
awesome. And you can
Now
move
they've
them
got
around a
200 plus licensed brands, plus 40,000 plus independent artists, and custom uploads of, well, whatever you want to get printed.
Yeah.
And to make things even better, we've hooked you guys up with a discount. So if you go to displate.com/L/Bellular and use code Bellular, well, number one, every order will support the channel, but maybe more importantly for you, if you buy one Displate, you'll get 26% off. If you buy two, you'll get 31% off. And if you buy three or more, you will get 36% off. So huge, big discounts. They're an amazing supporter of the channel. And with them, you can have the walls of your home actually reflect the things that you enjoy. I'm going to borrow a term from politics. It's called rolling the pitch. It's basically all that prep work that happens before some sort of big announcement. And it was very obvious that was going on here, because a week before the changes, Tom Warren at The Verge reported on a leaked internal memo from the new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma. And in it, she said that Game Pass, quote, had become too expensive. Even then, it was fairly clear that this was not just about prices. So here's more of what was said. Quote, Game Pass is central to gaming value on Xbox. It's also clear the current model isn't the final one. Short-term, Game Pass has become too expensive for players, so we need a better value equation. Long-term, we'll evolve Game Pass into a more flexible system, which will take time to test and learn around. Right now, we're very much in the short term.
I mean, you fucking had it to begin with before you jacked up the price by 50%. Like, fucking damn, that is a hell of a hike. You didn't even creep. You fucking took one giant step for man. That is some bullshit. Just go back to what it was. Value for money. Now it's value for nothing.
Xbox now understands they cannot just raise prices.
Sorry, that was wrong. It's nothing for money, really. I mean, part of the reason I moved from Xbox to PC was because there was nothing to play. I got bored.
Now, Warren suggests that back in October, Game Pass prices went up in order to cover payouts made to Activision's Call of Duty studios for the day one inclusion.
Oh, and another thing I just remembered is the games weren't up there all the time. They do what Netflix does, is they take shit away. And it's like, oh, well, I really enjoyed that game. Now I can't fucking play what I wanted to play on the Game Pass. Same as I can't watch what I want on Netflix because they don't fucking have everything. I hate all this competition shit. And I hate it when they take shit away that I want. Fuck. It's never worth it.
Of Call of Duty. And that's because, as reports have since confirmed, Game Pass is supposed to be ran as a profitable business for Microsoft. That means that whenever a game succeeds on the service, well, Xbox pays the studios to cover their input to that service. You see, by all accounts, Call of Duty on Game Pass cost $300 million to replace the paid revenue that they would have got on Xbox and PC. And that, of course, means that they need to make more money from the public to pay for Call of Duty plus everything else. Hence the price spike. Now, apparently, there were multiple levers in the works that could manage this sort of thing. Datamined examples suggest they might be rolling out first-party only subscriptions eventually, or even a combined Netflix and Xbox subscription in the future. Both of these would be a new entry point that would actually align with Sharma's comments. So it could definitely happen, and if they're working with the likes of Netflix, that could mean a bit of a new revenue source. It could mean appealing to a bit of a different audience. But even before this week's announcement, sources inside Xbox told Jez Corden of Windows Central that they were reconsidering Call of Duty as a day one game. So basically...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you did day one games, I don't get how Game Pass makes money. Like, either they are overselling us on the price of games, or I don't know. The quick math in my head, the rough math, does not make sense to me at all. like, what is it? And you're giving us day one games, like games that are highly anticipated by people. Like, we really want it. Jeez, what is with this guy? I just realised. Look at him. Anyway, day one games like that. That is where you get the most money out of your games from the start. Like, you release it and boom, money. Over time, yeah, then put it on Game Pass. Like, I don't get the day one thing either. I don't get how they make money off it.
All the leaks and rumors were lining up. And to us, there is a clear reason why this is the first lever that they picked. You know, lowering prices and justifying that by removing Call of Duty. You see, in 2024, when Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was on Game Pass, it was still Circana's best-selling game of the year in the US. But in 2025, whenever Black Ops 7, a notably much worse game, was on Game Pass, it was Circana's best-selling game of December in the US, but it was only the 5th best-selling of the year. You see, when Xbox announced their price hikes, they expected people to leave Game Pass, and they would have calculated the new price to mitigate that factor. You know, they knew that it would cause churn. But what they couldn't have predicted was Call of Duty having such a drop in revenue, all while a chunk of the COD audience stayed on Game Pass. That was quite rough. So, one financial hit then could be mitigated, upping the price. Two, though, that's kind of unacceptable. Of course, the first thing mitigating is just Call of Duty being there, but the second thing is Call of Duty big time underperforming. That's real bad for the balance sheet, and it's basically an example of one of their almost too big to fail style games.
Yeah, you're relying on developers that are failing to put out good games. So it's no wonder people don't want your Game Pass as well. Like, it's all just a bad play.
Games hurting basically the rest of their entire business. With Call of Duty leaving Game Pass has no longer got to pay out to Call of Duty teams, which means the Game Pass can make sense for, its customers. So, therefore, the price can be reduced. But this option does introduce a new risk, and that is that other first-party games may no longer arrive at day and date on Game Pass in the future.
Yeah.
Because, well, they've now broken a bit of a precedent there. But at least for now, Xbox has got a chance, and has taken a chance, to reset their consumer conversation whilst winning over hearts and minds. Because there's one thing that's clear to me. Asha Sharma and the people around her are really fucking good at PR. Right, let's talk about the timing of this and how it matters. You see, this all happened at the end of the financial year. It's about 6 months after the price increase, and it is following Xbox's leadership change. This is, after all, the first major change since she took over as CEO. Now, there have been other ones, like ending a divisive marketing campaign. You know, the one that would just say, oh, look at this mug. This is an Xbox. Yeah, they got rid of that stupid thing. I think this really does count as the first major change that's been made, and seemingly it'll be the first of many, because the perception that Xbox is creating right now through Sharma's internal, but obviously leaked memos and public communications is that she is here for the players, that she recognized Game Pass was too expensive, and she immediately reversed her predecessor's decisions. It was the evil bastard Phil Spencer who did all of this. Obviously, it's not that. That's probably what a bunch of Xbots think. I really don't think that's what's going on here, because this is a huge big corporation. So let's talk about the corporate side of things. Information passed to Jez Corden suggests that Microsoft has relented on their pressure on Xbox. You see, before, there was this back and forth over a 30% profit margin for individual businesses, and now it would seem that that pressure is weakening. And that is what would enable a change like this. It's a change that a Phil Spencer type absolutely could have made. Here's the quote from Jez's reporting. One thing I've heard recently is that Xbox has reduced margin pressure from the top down. This has given Xbox extra breathing room to work on features and systems that aren't directly tied to profitability. The kind of things that, as a consumer, you don't necessarily pay for, but that you benefit from in your day-to-day experience, which will thus increase Xbox's lifetime brand value for you. You know, keep you close to it. If Microsoft has taken their boot off Xbox's neck, and that's a huge if, then Xbox will get to make corporate decisions like this one. Of course, they can't change that association with Microsoft will trigger boycotts and anger, or
Microsoft is perhaps the most complicit tech company in Israel's illegal apartheid regime. Oh my god. Bringing in the stupid politics. Fun fact. Since this little war over there in Gaza, the population has apparently gone up, not down. I don't even know how that makes sense, but apparently that's them facts.
That they'll be forced to, I don't know, integrate Copilot into things. But even so, they seem to have more control over at least some of the.
How about that, guys? You want AI in your game? I've seen AI in game before. It looks pretty good. It looks fun. I want AI in my game. It's even hilarious. Remember Darth Vader in Fortnite? Fuck, that was funny.
Their own decisions. Decisions that, in aggregate, can pay off, rather than just increasing one specific revenue stream. And I think that is the real change. Because at the very least, in the previous world, Xbox was never able to be more than the sum of its parts. Because as an overall decision-making organization, the pressure that they were under just made that impossible. But how do we read all this? Well, the shift might be about Asha Sharma, yeah. But it also might just be Microsoft recognizing they've pushed Xbox to breaking point, and in a time where they really can't afford that. Of course, Microsoft has had a few wake-up calls, including with Windows. Maybe they're realizing that they're actually not invincible and that they're not too big to fail.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you brought so many developers and you're flopping. Well, they're flopping. For some reason, all your developers are flopping. You flopped Halo, you flopped Gears of War. Like, Gears of War 5 was what a fucking joke. You fucked up Horde mode on Gears of War, come on. I mean, it was perfect in 4, and then 5 comes along and it's fucked. Absolutely fucked. Halo, I fucking love Halo. And you fucked that too. Why? Why would you do that? Like, I mean, Infinite wasn't all bad. The campaign was pretty alright, but it wasn't finished. And then you led us on like you were going to add more gameplay to it, like to the story. And you fucked that. Fucked everything. God, and have you even released anything of late? Like, has Microsoft as a publisher, has it released anything that I can think of off the top of my head that I've played in the past 2 years? I'm drawing a blank. You aren't doing anything.
That means Xbox's business seemingly being granted more room to try something new. And a possibility for that, via another Jez Corden leak, is that Game Pass may shift to an a la carte option. Basically, you would pay for a sub, and then you'd add or remove features as you wish. So if you don't care about cloud gaming or Fortnite crew, you can remove them. That's seemingly the sort of experiment they can try to actually do right now. Who knows? Maybe it could be a bit more similar to Audible credits. So where they're at now is they're basically working through a pipeline of games already in progress. However, by the time Asha arrived, it was after 3 years of cutting staff and cancelling many game projects. So their future slate may not be as strong as it could have been, because basically things that would only pay off in the medium to long term did seem to get cancelled quite rapidly in the prior era. So that's a big concern, but for right now, well, they have a pipeline of games, and they have a hardware vision set in stone as of years ago. Game Pass and marketing, then, are the only levers that Xbox really has left to pull in the immediate. So they're pulling them. They are buying time with these changes, and they're hoping that we'll buy that they've changed. My takeaway? Talk is cheap. Action is what actually matters. They've taken a good action here. I'm absolutely going to support that.
Yeah, I'd like to see some more action on the games front. Like, where are the games? Where are the fucking games? Actually, hang on. Let's do a quick little Googie search. Fuck, my typing's off. Fucking, I'm really off. Press off. Fuck, why can I not spell today? Fucking, yeah. Release. There we go. Fuck. What we got? Okay, they had Crimson Desert, that's good. Hasn't come out yet. I mean, I'm hanging for that Halo campaign Evolved. Starfield, Jesus. Forza mode, yeah. Yeah, they got Forza coming out this year, so they got some stuff coming out this year, but it's fucking nothing. Like what? Them two, Crimson Desert and Call of Duty Black Ops 7. That's all they've had so far. That's upcoming. I don't know why that's recent and trending releases. That hasn't released yet, to my knowledge. Definitely fucking hasn't. Yeah. Fucking release something. Oh, you've had Double O. Well, that's, as far as I know, that's shit. That came out a while ago and is awesome. Yeah, it's fuck all.
Do I trust the company overall? Not really. Do I think that this is as simple as Phil Spencer bad, Asha Sharma good? No, I think that's not the case. I think a lot of stuff was basically forced on Phil. I think that's pretty obvious when you go through all of the leaks and rumors and just things that have been reported over the last few years. I think it's basically Microsoft have realized, shit, we actually may materially hurt our business here. And they're probably just using that they've got a new face running the show as just a time to sort of say, hey, this is a little bit of a fresh start. In many ways, it isn't really a fresh start. It's probably as close to a fresh start as a company like this could do. Their PR spin will be that they have this new, young, dynamic leader who's hit the ground running and is nailing it, knocking out of the park. And I'm sure that that stuff may be true, but fundamentally she will be constrained by, well, Microsoft. That's always been the constant here, and it will be the constant moving forward. Of course, I'm not saying this stuff to shit on Asha Sharma. From what I can tell, she's like a professional executive. I think she is quite obviously good at her job. It seems like she is just doing this with sheer love of the game. You know what? As much as a PR campaign is that, a PR campaign, my God, they have played it well. They've played it really well, and I do respect that. But if you want to follow this up with another good news story that actually could materially impact you, well, Stop Killing Games has had some real success and good responses from the EU, and you can find out about it in this video next.
Good on you, Bellula, always keeping us updated. Yeah, I still wouldn't recommend Xbox or any console in general, really. And you got this new chick, what was her name? Can't remember her name. What is she, the new CEO or something? But, I mean, apparently she can talk the talk, but I want to see some walk. Alright, I want to see some games. Otherwise, I'm not recommending Xbox or its Game Pass. Go PC, it might be more money all at once, but it'll be less in the long term. I mean, you're not paying a fucking service fee. So, yeah. Oh, God, just reminded me of paying for Xbox Live service. I don't have to pay that anymore. Isn't that nice? Anyway, I'll put a link in the description for Bellula's video. I'll see you in the next one.